When we talk about undefined centers in human design, we tend to focus so much on their shadows, and there's a good reason for that. An undefined center, anything really that is undefined in the chart and that is equivalent to something that is white and not colored in, is going to be a place of conditioning for you, and that's gonna mean that it's going to be like school for you in this life. It's somewhere where you have to learn a lot of lessons, which also means somewhere where it's going to be challenging. So let's take the throat center as an example. If you have an undefined throat center like me, you might grow up feeling super insecure about the way that you communicate. You might feel when you're in a group like you try to say something multiple times and like either somebody speaks over you all the time, or when you do manage to say something, it isn't well received or you don't feel the recognition for it. And this has like this impact of, as time goes on, you're like losing your self-esteem related to how you communicate, and then that's kind of like a never-ending cycle because every time you communicate, you're feeling this energy and you're also giving away this energy of insecurity, and obviously that's not being received super nicely either. Now, what I think is really interesting, and I've been talking with a lot of clients lately about this, is that we do tend to focus a lot on the shadows of human design because that's a really big learning point, and especially the shadows of the openness. But there's something that we are forgetting sometimes, which is that whiteness equals wisefulness. Wiseness? No. Wisdom. Whiteness equals wisdom. You can tell I haven't been feeding this English account for a while. I've been speaking Spanish, human design Spanish, for too long. If you speak Spanish, I have so much content on my Spanish channel, by the way, but let's get back to the throat. So whiteness in the chart equals wisdom. So let's use the same example of the throat. Actually, I've been someone who's been super successful communicating human design in the internet, and I have an open throat, and people, when they write in my YouTube channel all the time, they always just comment on like, wow, it's just the way you communicate it is so different. I love your voice. I want to hear more. No matter what you talk about in the videos, I want to hear it all. And those are some of the comments that I'm getting on a daily basis, and I have an open throat. So I think it's super important to understand that the places in your life where you have challenges are the places in your life where you're also going to reap the biggest benefits if you work on your consciousness, if you work on becoming the observer in your life in those areas. And I think this is where like a really nice perspective comes in, where it's like shadow and light is one. It's like yin and yang. You can't separate it. You can't be a person that I just want to look at the light in human design, or I just want to look at the shadows. I think it all goes together. And once we start really embracing the shadows, so once I started being like, oh, it's normal to not know what's going to come out of my mouth, or to think that I have something to say and then when I say it, it comes out a whole different way, and that's okay. Or also to feel like, oh, it's okay for me to feel all this pressure to speak, but actually to be silent and to wait for someone to ask me for my opinion. There's all of these learnings and shadows that suddenly you start looking at them in the eye. It's sort of like you thought it was a lion, and it starts being this cute little kitty, and suddenly you've got a gift in your hands. That's how it works with human design. I just made a video especially about open throat in my new English channel. So I'm gonna link it in the description so you can go check it out if you want to learn, especially if you want to learn more about open centers and about having an open throat. See you there.